Hello, thanks a lot for joining us in the video, guys. Now, when I've been going through my SoRare journey, the attackers, the strikers, are the ones that, when I'm making those purchases, I make them even more considered, because those guys just aren't cheap. We've spoken about it in other videos before, and we'll probably speak about it in the future again. But because they are much more expensive, and when you buy them as well, you're really looking for them to be your focal point. Who's going to shoot you 80 points? Who's going to shoot you 95 points? You expect it and you hope it's going to be the most likely candidate, which would be the striker. So we're going to be talking about some of those guys today. Who's good bang for buck, and who, you know, if you have the funds, you should be going out and acquiring. The cost of entry on this one, guys, before you watch any more of the video, make sure you like it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the links down below if you've not even joined the platform yet. If you haven't joined SoRare yet, why are you watching the video, and why haven't you done it? Let's get stuck into it. Now, strikers, guys, are a must-invest item, similar to goalkeepers in the sense that without a good, credible striker, it's hard to see that you're going to go very far in SO5 tournaments, to be honest with you, because you need those players that can go and get a goal and an assist, or 2 goals, or 1 goal, whatever, and score pretty high. If you look at the strikers I've got that are European-based, there's a lot of mixture. I'm taking a lot of gambles on increases in performances and form with a lot of the guys I've bought. The only kind of striker I would say I've bought guaranteed results from would be Memphis Depay and Crepin Diatta, and you can see they are like the second and third striker that I bought, because I thought these are purchases that just have to be made. And at the time, you know, this was a lot of money. You know, I know now, looking at the way Ethereum's appreciated and the way the market's moved, etc., you probably look at that and go, fucking hell, that's a great price to pay. But at the time, that was a lot of money to pay for a Depay. It was fair with the market, you know, but at the time it was a lot of money, especially when you compare a Diatta, it was basically half the price. And Jordan Larson was my first buy, and he turned out to be a good gamble, of course. But as you can see by a lot of these guys, I'm gambling on transfers, I'm gambling on return from injuries, I'm gambling on form and rotation, becoming the manager's new favourite, you know, up and coming players. I'm taking a lot of gambles with these because the guaranteed goals are expensive. They are. Tino Kadewere is the first one we come to. Okay, I've watched Leon a good bit because I've got Depay and I've got Guimaraes in my line, in my gallery, and the way they're playing now, the last couple of times I've seen them anyway, is Kadewere and Kambi are just absolute counter-attack, lightning quick wingers, and I think Kadewere is the better of the two for a few reasons I'm not going to go into. The price he's at the moment is very attractive. At 24 years of age, he's got a lot of scope for growth, and the sort of player he is, he will garner attention from bigger and better clubs. Yeah, we expect Leon to do well, we expect to make it top 4, get back into Europe next year, all that kind of thing, but even in the longer term, above and beyond that, being 24, being lightning quick, and he's got a keen finish, and you can see with some of the scores he's starting to pick up now when he is involved in goals. I think it's only a matter of time before maybe another club comes in for him. And even if they don't, at Leon, in that system, as long as things remain the same in terms of the manager and the setup, etc., you've got a good guarantee on, or likelihood of these performances continuing and continuing and continuing. So the sort of prices at the now, we've just seen the, you know, the sort of extent I spend on strikers and the sort of things that attract me. This guy is a big attraction for the sense that you can catch him quite cheap. He's not a household name as such, and it will just be a matter of time until they're back in Europe, or they're really flying away, you know, in the top 4 of the league, scoring lots of goals and doing really well, before more people click into this, and then before you know it, it goes from being a fifth of a coin to being a third of a coin, you know, which is a 50% increase. Now, I'm actually very annoyed at myself that I never picked this guy up when I first came across him. I was looking for a Challenger Europe striker, because I'm quite light in that area, and this guy came up at the time. He was going for really low prices. The thing that put me off with him was his age, and I'll tell you what else put me off. Just Porto do cycle through a lot of strikers. You know, if you think about over the last 5 years, they've had so many different strikers coming in and out of that club. A lot of them are kind of nameless faces, you know. We just seen Tiquinho Suarez in another video, who's in China now. Guys like Victor Abubakar, Musa Marega. This guy, you know, they've churned through a lot of kind of okay strikers that are good in their league, but don't really offer you much beyond that. And that's what kind of put me off this guy. But his form has been really, really good in the season so far, and you can see that's why his price on the market has really jumped up. So this is a guy that, yeah, 28, he's solid. You know what you're going to get from him, and as long as Porto continue to play him, Porto, you'd probably expect him to win the league, if not finish second. This guy will become a big, big part of that. And when he's involved in goals and assists, the scores are going to be there for you, you know. So, yeah, good card. Now, similar to what I said about Vlasic in the midfielder video, if you've caught that, if you haven't, go and check that out now. But I think this guy has got a big future ahead of him. His scores have been really credible. He's not actually got that many goals to his name, truth be told. And the way, I've only watched some clips and some stuff, I've not watched Benfica much, to be honest, but the way he seems to play, do you know, I'll just sum it up, right? I think this guy goes to PSG, maybe not January, maybe in the summer or something like that. He seems like a really good piece that would go in the middle of a Neymar and an Mbappe. He's quite happy to link up, he's young, he's exciting, he can get himself on the end of stuff. He's much better than like your Choupo-Motings and your Icardi's not really a fit for that lineup. I don't even know why the bottom. And Moise Keane's doing okay because he's a quick, big guy, you know, which is cool. His loan period from Everton should expire at the end of the season. We'll see what happens with that. But this guy, for me, is the guy PSG should be buying to put in the middle of Mbappe and Neymar if they keep a hold of them. Even without one of them, at the kind of price he's at now, you know, he's not cheap. But he's got his whole career in front of him. Benfica spent a lot of money on him. Benfica have got a great track record of pulling these guys out of South America and making a lot of money on them, selling them to Real Madrid, PSG, and these types of clubs, you know. So he's somebody who I would want to get on sooner rather than later. Now, this is a wee sneaky one for you. This came to my attention on Twitter. I think somebody's got him. But Kevin Morales is now in the Turkish league, and he's doing pretty bloody well. I was always a big fan of this guy when he was at Everton. He always strikes me as one of these players that gives 110% every match. He wasn't really a striker, wasn't really a winger. He was just like a really decent forward, you know, and he got involved in a lot of stuff. He's 33. His best days are behind him. The market price you get for him is pretty decent. Considering there is only 19 of them available, and again, like I've said before in some of these videos, the difference makers can be just those unselected cards, you know, the ones that don't get picked by everyone. It can make a difference between you finishing, you know, 42nd and 23rd or something like that, which will get you something rather than nothing. And again, I love limited cards, and that's what really appeals to me on this guy. You're not going to get much longer out of him. I think he might have another stint in Belgium behind him after this stint in Turkey. The Turkey's going to be a money grabber for him, of course. Being an ex-Premier League player, he'll be getting big wages. He spent a bit of time, obviously, in Belgium, which is why we've got cards for him. And it's not beyond the realms of possibility he goes back to Belgium again. We've seen guys like Thomas Buffel. I don't know if you remember him, but he played in Belgium all the way till he was bloody 40 or something. And if this guy has the will and the desire, I don't think that would be beyond him. Now, Sardar Azmoun is a name I've heard knocked about in football circles for the last couple of years. You're probably the same. You know, the Iranian Messi, the Iranian Zlatan, whatever they want to call him. He played for, oh Jesus, I want to say Krasnodar. It might have been, what was the club Roberto Carlos and that played for? I think it was that club, Angie. But now he's at Zenit, a top end club in the division, of course. And I think when they first came out, let me just check the auctions while I'm talking. Yeah, when he first came out, he was like a half a coin card, third of a coin, no problem. But as we're now in the winter break for Russia, the spotlight is away from him, and the auctions you're getting him at now, it's very attractive. He's 25. Even if he only stays in that Russian league, I would be really happy with that, because it's a league that he's dominant in, he's strong in, and Zenit are a really, just a strong outfit. You know, they've got all the money. So, again, a player like this, for those kind of price ranges, let's just call it 75 quid. Somebody who you're going to get easily another 5 years out of, you're going to get good production from, let's call it 15 goals a season. Look at some of those scores, 90s and 100, you know. This guy's a top end striker in the Russian league. I would be worried he transfers out, because he might find the difference in level restricts him, which is probably why some bigger clubs haven't came and got him yet. If you remember Hulk went from Porto to Zenit, and even though everyone thought, oh, Hulk's this amazing player, no one really took the chance on him. And I think you might find that with Azmoun as well. Even if Azmoun went to China, similar to Hulk, I think that'd be a great move for SoRare, from a SoRare perspective, you know, for holding the card. And I think this guy's he's just really undervalued, to be honest with you, and very high powered in terms of his output. Now, Nicholas Storm was brought to my attention by somebody in DMs. I'm really sorry, I'm not giving you the credit. I can't remember who it was exactly. He's not a great striker, right? But he's a steady Eddie. He's actually quite similar to some of the defenders we spoke about in some of these videos. You know he's going to play. You know he's going to be involved in the match. He might get a goal, he might not. He might get an assist, he might not. But the sort of price you can get him for, because sometimes half the battle is just having a guaranteed starter that's going to get you those points, and you might have big point hitters in defence, in goals, in midfield, and you just need a striker that's just going to get on the pitch, hit you 40 to 50 and do their job, and you know, helps you get on with hitting those tier 3, tier 2 prizes, whatever it might be. And this guy's a good candidate for that. It's the sort of price you can pick him up for, 30 quid or whatever. Now, when I was doing the research for this video and I came across Bone, I was actually pleasantly surprised at how high his floor is. You know, he plays a lot. I'm a big fan of the guy. If you've watched the channel for a while, you'll know I was quite eager to see him get out of Hull and into the Prem. West Ham are doing well under Moyes. You might not like what's going on there in particular, but they're doing okay. And this guy's one of their key players up front. And again, despite there not being West Ham cards issued again for this season, there's only 38 of them at the moment. That will change. And I think when you get new season cards, I think new season cards of this guy will probably go for 0.4 to 0.3. So to get an out of season card now, get it ranked up, best market price now is under a fifth of a coin, 24 years of age. I think he's a good striker to have. And yeah, I'm going to finish the video off by saying it. I'm biased, I know. I love Jordan Larsson so much. Born and bred in Glasgow. Born... but the king of kings himself. The price he's going for the now is very appealing, just because of the fact he's on had a great finish to the last season when I had the card, and in this new season he's been doing great. Between him and Ponce, Larsson's definitely the favourite to get 90 minutes out of the pair of them. It's off season at the moment, wait till it comes back, and again he's a guy who could quite easily transfer to another club. But as you can see guys, with some of the guys we spoke about, and again scanning back through my strikers, I've won like 43 cards from prizes. And these are the strikers I've got. You don't need to go and get the big bad ones. You can get these kind of middle of the road guys that will be consistent to score you well and still come out with prizes, you know. So I definitely think you need to have a place in your gallery for a Memphis, an Immobile, a Ronaldo, you know, a top striker. You need space for them, definitely. But you should definitely always be looking at these guys that are crisp, under the radar guys that maybe are off a little bit of form, or their last 5 and 15 averages aren't quite there for injury or change of manager, or, you know, whatever, to really bolster you guys, okay? I hope you've enjoyed the video. Again, I hope there's something you can take from this. As always, guys, like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.